Stellar Lumens and XLM are one of my more favoured cryptocurrencies, and especially so since the Ripple case with the SEC, which has opened up a gap in the market in the remittances industry. And for those who don't know, a remittance is a payment from a person in one country to somebody in another country, and these payments are usually to support family members and so on. And so as globalization continues in the future and more people are migrating and working in other countries, the remittances industry will likely continue to grow, making it a good time to get into remittances. And there is one piece of information, one statistic in particular, which gives me a lot of confidence in Stellar and XLM. And that is the fact that in 2021, even with all of our modern technology and highly developed financial infrastructure, the average cost of sending a remittance is 6.5% of the total value of each payment. And we are talking about an industry which is worth $790 billion annually, and forecast to continue growing into the future. At $790 billion, 6.5% of that total figure, which is equivalent to roughly $51.3 billion every year, is spent just on fees. And the truth is, money can be sent all over the world for a lot cheaper than 6.5%. If we are using crypto, it can be done for almost nothing, yet the remittances industry is still able to charge what is in my view a completely unreasonable fee. And by the way, this isn't where it stops. The fees are actually proportionally higher on smaller payments as opposed to larger payments. And while the justification for this is that there is a fixed cost for sending any payment which makes the cost proportionally higher on smaller numbers, I think that in 2021 this is not a good excuse. Especially when many of the people watching this video, including myself, have made crypto payments in a matter of seconds at no cost. And so in my view, in addition to helping those with the least spend less money on unreasonably high transaction costs, XLM also offer a huge incentive for adoption for two main reasons. But before we get to that, if you're enjoying this video, I want to ask you to subscribe so that we can keep growing and that I can spend more time researching and producing quality videos. Anyway, number one is the obvious reason, which is that considering the average 6.5% fee charged on remittances, XLM is way cheaper. And not only this, but it's probably faster and is also decentralized, meaning that you don't have to wait in any lines or ask for permission to send a $500 payment to a relative or a friend. And the second reason is that Stellar Lumens also specialize in micropayments, which are just payments which are very small, and this is actually a huge competitive advantage. You see, many people who are sending remittances may want to send small amounts of money like $10 or $20 here and there, to either cover one-off costs or because they want to send money every few days instead of sending it all at the end of the month. But the thing is, right now it's not practical to send small amounts of money, especially payments of under $100, because the costs in percentage terms are just way too high. And so if I wanted to send a small payment, I'm going to be charged a fee which makes sending a small payment unfeasible and simply impractical. Stellar offer a low-cost and decentralized alternative to the mainstream remittances industry, and in my view the advantages of using Stellar are clear and substantial. And having spoken to a number of people who are regularly sending remittances, every single one of them, bar none, have expressed serious interest in using Stellar or a similar technology. And in fact, the only reservation which I have come across is that people are skeptical in using something which is very new and which they are unfamiliar with. But in my view, if the advantages are large enough, which I think that they are, then inertia, which is the unwillingness to change because of ingrained habits, is not enough to stop adoption. Just think about the internet 20 years ago. A lot of people thought that the internet was something which they'd never use, but the benefits have grown to be so strong and compelling that in many cases it's just not realistic or rational not to use the internet. And I feel as though a similar trend has been occurring in crypto and in XLM for a while now, and I for one think that it will likely continue this way for a long time. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, then be sure to subscribe, and remember that I'm sharing my own thoughts and opinions, and so this video is not financial advice. Thanks for watching.